Yes, good morning. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Wednesday, 4th of July 2018. Happy Independence Day to our US listeners, watchers, and also in the World Cup. Congrats to England and Sweden. I know we've got a few English people and a few Swedes in the group, so well done to them in the World Cup. 4th of July. All this video is as I go through what I've done this morning on both my daily high probability charts and also my daily mod MACD charts. There was a fair bit of action this morning, so let's quickly have a look at the charts. We'll start with the mod MACD daily. Euro CAD. I was in a buy on this back here. Had a stop in place, however got a new sell signal this morning. So I've closed my remaining buy for an overall profit and taken a new sell in this area here. It's a bit ugly, the MAs are very tight, not the ideal setup, but all the criteria are met. So we've closed the buy, overall profit, and taken a new sell this morning. Aussie USD in a sell back here. All I've done this morning is move my stop down to this level here. 75.058. Just starting to look a bit ugly. You can see the divergence there. It's wants to head up, so I'm just trying to lock in a little bit more profit there. Nothing more. Next pair, Euro Swiss franc. This morning, new buy signal, higher risk into that 240 LMA. It's just crept out. The fast MACD's just crept over the zero level. The standard MACD, the histogram's pretty flat, but it's slowly grinding up. I had a green dot back here. We're above the 25 SMA, valid signal. So I've taken the buy this morning on the Euro Swiss franc. Euro Aussie. All I've done this morning is move my stop up, similar to the Aussie USD. Just I can see the fast MACD's rolling over, standard MACD's starting to roll over. You can see the histogram getting smaller and it's starting to roll over. Price bearish yesterday, bullish so far this morning, but just brought up the stop up to 155.848, which is just above the point of entry and under the MAs there, so not a bad spot for the stop. Just locking in profit. AusCAD. All I've done this morning, I'm in a sell trade. I've just closed half of that sell trade and brought my stop down to 98446, which is just above both the MAs. So I've just taken a little bit of profit off the table. I just don't like the way the Aussie's moving at the moment. There's no obvious signs to say why I should take half off, other than probably you could look at the momentum on the histogram here is probably turning a little bit, but it just looks to me that the Aussie's probably gone down far enough, but you know that could change by Friday non-farm payrolls. But taken some profit and put a stop in place. CAD Swiss franc is in a sell back here, as is a new buy signal today, valid buy signal. I've closed that sell for an overall profit, so that sell from there, the stop was up here, so it's been closed completely, the sell, and a new buy was taken this morning, high risk in towards that 240 LMA, not much wiggle room there. I'm not that super impressed with the setup. It is a high risk trade, but all the other criteria are met, and so we closed the sell, took a buy. That's in the CAD Swiss. Alright, we'll just move over to the high probability charts daily. A little bit of action on these two, but no new trades I don't believe, just all trade management, which is pretty common. It's a pretty quiet day yesterday in the markets, but seemed to do a bit this morning. Euro Aussie in a buy down here. It's a re-entry, that's why there's two blue lines, so I took a buy here. Already closed half this morning. I've just moved my stop up to this level here, 156.845. Getting divergence everywhere. Even though price looks like it's heading up, the MACD is now rolling over, so I'm just locking in profit there. So that's a Euro Aussie, just locking in profit. CAD Japanese yen in a buy here. It was a high risk trade into the MAs, so prices at the MAs looks like we've stalled a bit. The MACD Platinum's at the 0 level, so all I've done this morning is closed half my buy trade and moved my stop up to 82,867. So even if I get stopped out now, I can't lose on this trade. This is a huge move and it blows through my stop, but basically just taking a little bit of profit off the table, price at the MAs, MACD's at the 0 level, and stopping up overall sort of break even area. So that's the CAD yen and CAD Swissy, pretty much the same thing. In a buy down here, MACD is at the 0 level, getting close to these MAs, not exactly setting the world on fire. Closed half, stop to 74352. So same scenario. That's the CAD CHF. Now the New Zealand USD, I'm in a sell here. I've already taken half off the table. I've got a blue dot on MACD Platinum this morning. I've started to draw possible bullish divergence trend lines in. So for me, I've got to start locking in more profit. So all I've done this morning on my remaining half of my sell, I've moved my stop down to 68427. So that stop's just been brought down to this level here, which is level with that. So it's just up. So if it goes up and takes me out, so be it. That's the New Zealand USD, and finally pound NZ. I'm going to buy. All I've done this morning is move my stop up to above the break, the point of entry level. So I've just moved my stop up to 191322. Starting to draw divergence lines in here, bearish divergence. This blue line across the top is just looking at that previous high over here somewhere. So you could probably even draw a line sort of through this levels there, sort of thing. You know, it's a real zone. So all I've done this morning is locked in a little bit of profit. Started to draw some trend lines in for possible divergence. That's about it, guys. So it might be a fairly quiet day in the markets. Obviously other markets going to be open, even though the US won't be. So we'll see how we go, and we'll get through this public holiday, then back on tomorrow, Thursday and Friday being the non-farm payrolls, or the US employment figures, and also Canadian employment figures. So up until that, we'll chat later. Cheers.